Welcome to Fire Basics. This will be a general overview of the fire alarm system and your responsibilities on this topic. As many of you know, or may not know, the courthouse has 13 floors, a penthouse, and 2 parking levels. It also has 3 entrances into this building. 2 of them are marked on this chart. Fayetteville Street entrance, which is a main entrance, comes in on the first floor. The Salisbury Street entrance comes in on the parking level. The third entrance to this building is the 6th floor skywalk leading over to the Wake County office building, and it's used a lot more by employees than anybody else. Another factor about this particular building is it has a very complex alarm system. And that system could have just one floor being alarmed or multiple floors being alarmed. So as you go up and down the staircases, you want to make sure that you respect that alarm. That alarm is going to sound something like this. It's a very distinctive noise, and you will definitely hear it when you're in the building. So you want to make sure that you know where those staircases are to evacuate. The staircases are located a little different on the various floors. From floors P through 6, one staircase, which is the north staircase, which is, if you're needing landmarks next to the post office, is the one that's very public. Everybody knows where it is. They go up and down it to move between floors. The south staircase, which is closer to the office building, is located within employee-only area. So only the employees know where this staircase is, not the general public. So there might be times, depending on where you're at, you might need to take and assist people in getting to this staircase. Then when you go to floors 7 through 12, the staircases are on either side of the elevator banks across the hall, so that they're easy to see and everybody knows where they're at and everybody can use them. Basic fire principles that we have, we'll go through several of them, but anyone can call 911 for an emergency. You report the fire, then you're going to turn around and call Security Command Center at 919-856-7007. Both of these communication centers are going to ask you what's on fire or what's the problem, what's the location. They might even ask which side of the building's better to come in on, Fayetteville Street or Salisbury Street. So you want to make sure that you give them the best information that you have available. Let's look at some roles and responsibilities as we go through this. Employee versus evacuee. Employee, I'm a hard, dedicated state or county worker, and I just love my job, and I've got so much to do that I'm just going to ignore that fire alarm. No matter what's going on, that fire alarm is not important. I'm an employee. I got to get my work done, so therefore I'm going to ignore it. No, you're not going to ignore it. You're going to change hats, and you're going to become an evacuee, because you don't know whether that alarm is for real or if it's a drill. So you always want to respect that alarm and for what it stands for. So you're going to do what's required next, and we'll go through those procedures. So just remember that that alarm goes off, you go from being an employee to being an evacuee. What everyone should know, you can call 911 for any reason. We've already talked about fire. You can call them for that. Or you can pull the pull station, go ahead and start getting everyone evacuated. For medical emergency, you can call 911 yourself. For any other situation requiring employee assistance, you can call 911 for that also. Once you've called 911, make sure you call the Security Center at 919-856-7007 so they can take appropriate actions. While the responders are coming, you're evacuating the building, the county also has procedures in place from behind the scenes on things that they need to do to assist the fire department. RACE. What is RACE? RACE is an acronym that we use to help you remember what to do in a fire situation. You're going to remove everyone from the area. Whether you like them or not, you're going to take them with you. You're going to activate that alarm, meaning you're going to pull that pull station or whatever other means that you might have designated in that area, but that fire alarm, that pull station is going to be your primary source. You're going to C, confine the fire, close doors and windows, and E, evacuate the building. So that is RACE. Remove everyone, activate the alarm, confine the fire, and evacuate the building. The next step that I'm going to show you is the PASS system. We do not require you to use a fire extinguisher within the courthouse, but it is always good to know how to do one. Use one. So first you're going to pull the pin, and you'll see a twist tie on here, so you're going to twist that pin out of the fire extinguisher. You're going to aim it at the base of the fire. You're going to squeeze the trigger, and you're going to sweep it back and forth at the base of the fire till it's gone. Remember, we're not requiring you to use a fire extinguisher. We would rather you take and evacuate, but in case you need to use it, you need to know the principles on how to use it. So what should everybody know? The fire alarm's gone off. Now what do? What should I take with me? Well, if your purse is with you, your car keys, glasses, bottle of water, flashlight, tennis shoes if you're up on high floors, whatever you have with you that, depending on where you're at, where you got to go, the quickest, easiest way to get out of the building. Well, I locked my stuff up on the 11th floor, but I work down on the 3rd or 4th floor. You need to make a contingency plan. Can somebody up there bring your stuff down, or do you have a backup plan that you can get home and somebody can let you in and you can get your things later, just in case you can't get back in the building? These are things to think through. Well, what about my clients or my visitors? Can I just leave them behind? No, cannot leave them behind. You got to take them with you. The other thing is, make sure you just don't drop them at the door. If they'll go to your meeting location with you, take them with you. If not, at least get them to the end of the block. We want to make sure that the entrances to the building is where our first responders can get in and take care of business, so we don't need a lot of people crowding around that area. We also have people in the building that are physically challenged people. And this could be anybody with breathing difficulties, heart conditions, musculoskeletal disorders like arthritis, or they walk with a cane, or they're in their last trimester of their pregnancy. These we would consider physically challenged people. There could be other reasons out there, but those are some of the most obvious. You need to have a buddy. And your buddy must be physically and mentally capable of helping you. Plus, if your buddy's not there one day, who's going to be your backup buddy? So you want to make sure you got your buddy, and then you got a backup buddy in case your original buddy's not there. Depending on the situation, depends on what action's going to take place. Being we're talking about fire, the fire alarm goes off, everybody from that floor exits the staircase. Once everybody from the upper floors have left the staircase, you and your buddy are going to go into that staircase. You're also going to make sure that your floor coordinator knows that you're in that staircase. The staircase that we want you to use is the one closest to the office building. The south stairwell is the one we want you to use. If you end up in the north stairwell, because that's the one that is safest at that time, that's fine. Let your floor coordinator know or somebody else know that that's where you're at so we can come and get you. While you're going down into that staircase, everybody else is exiting. Once they let us know where you're at, deputies will come up if it's safe to use the elevators, get you, bring you down, and then you'll go to the Public Safety Center. Why do we want you to go into the stairwells? Why is that a safe place? Well, this is an old building and it was made out of 8-inch structural clay tiles is what those staircases are made out of, and that's stronger than any of the fire resistant systems we have now in place. The stairwells also have a smoke evacuation system in it also. And make sure as best you can the Salisbury Street stairwell or the South stairwell is where we will come to look for you. What everyone should know: when should I leave the building? Well, that alarm sounds, we want you to leave. Remember, you're going to go from employee to evacuee. You're going to leave the building. Or when you're advised by your floor coordinator or supervisor, or a deputy comes around and requests that you leave the building. You want to make sure that you follow protocols at that time. There will be times when an alarm is not pulled and you are requested to evacuate the building. I'm out of the building. Now what do? I go to my location and I check in for accountability. I tell my floor coordinator, I'm here, and you just wait until further notice. Your floor coordinator is going to tell the deputies, all my people are accounted for. Why do we want to do accountability? I don't get it. Accountability. Why do you want to know where I am? Well, we want to know where you are because we don't want to send our first responders in looking for you when you're not there. We want to make sure that we protect them as much as they protect us, that they get to go home at the end of the day also. So, in a quick review of everything that we've gone over, anyone can call 911, then call the Security Center at 919-856-7007. When an evacuation occurs, you go from being an employee to being an evacuee. You're going to go to your designated meeting location for accountability. And here's an important part also. Make sure you have your county ID with you at all times. This will get you back into the building first. If you do not have your ID, you will have to wait with everybody else until the building has been restaffed. If you have any further questions about these procedures, in this presentation, you may see any of the deputies located at stations 1, 2, and 3. Station 1 is the Salisbury Street, Station 2 is the Fayetteville Street entrance, and Station 3 will be at the Wake County Office Building Skywalk.